Now, David, I think you had some news about the new CEO of PayPal.
Yes. So let me change screens here a little bit. So the news is that the big headline, and it was in my news feed 300 times, 500 times. It just was in so many times. Essentially, Alex Chris, who he has been 20-year veteran of Intuit. He essentially, I want to say since 2017, he's been leading the QuickBooks side, the small business division, whatever, a year and a half, they rename whatever that division is, but it's the non-TurboTax side of the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
He drove the MailChimp acquisition, et cetera. He has now been announced he's going to be the new CEO of PayPal. And so when I saw that headline, I was like, wait a minute, this is history repeating itself. So I'm going to share something here. And I'm going to tie some stuff together with some people before I share the screen. So a couple of different people. So Bill Campbell was Intuit CEO from 94 to 1998, right? He was one of the first CEOs. And then he returned to be a temp CEO in 1999, right before Steve Bennett came, who was there till 2007. Then Brad Smith, that was the Brad Smith era, 2007 on. But in there, you had Bill Harris. So Bill Harris was the president of ChipSoft, right? 1999 to 1994. But then Intuit went public, merged in with Intuit. That's TurboTax. So he went through this merger. Then he became the executive vice president and then eventually CEO between 93 and 99. And then he basically started the launch of Quicken.com and the move to online services and internet services, right? He started that thing. Well, then the other player in this whole story is Elon Musk. The guy who just bought Twitter and changed the name to X.com.
Yeah, I think I've heard of him before.
So look at this headline. X.com names former Intuit brass its CEO. So this headline literally is from 1999. CNET.
So Elon Musk renamed Twitter to X, which is this old startup that he had. Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about. So if we kind of go, so I'm going to go back to like 1999. I was like a lowly tech support employee. And I remember getting invited to one of those like CEO skip level lunches where you get to like eat lunch with the CEO. And I remember distinctly remember sitting in the room with Bill Harris. And he was talking about this XPay thing and that he was getting involved or Intuit was getting involved or something like that, right? So back to this article, essentially this article is naming Bill Harris as joining X.com as its CEO. He's going to replace Elon Musk, who's the founder, as a CEO. And then Elon Musk will stay on as chairman and oversee the product development. And so essentially, Bill Harris was the founding CEO of X.com in 1999. Okay, so an Intuit executive was the CEO of X.com.
Which became PayPal.
Which merged with PayPal because guess who had experience merging companies? Bill Harris, who did the merger of TurboTax into Intuit. Right? So X.com launched, this is crazy, December 7th of 1999 with him as a CEO. And within 2 months, X.com attracted 200,000 signups.
Wow.
Right? And so in my brain, I've always had this tie, to X.com and to Intuit. So over here you have X.com, and then you have this other company called Confinity, which had a product called PayPal that lets you take Palm Pilots. Remember Palm Pilots?
Yes.
Okay, and you could send money through.
My dad had a Palm Pilot.
Through the infrared port. That was PayPal. You could send money through the infrared port.
Oh.
So Elon Musk figured out like sending money in email is the way to go. Screw this infrared port stuff. So the crazy thing is both companies were in the same business. They're the same office building together, both these companies. And it was .com 1.0 days. So both companies like, hey, Blake, I'll pay you $20 if you join my app. And then anybody of your friends that join, I'll pay you another $10. So both companies were just bleeding money. So then in March of 2020, so you're thinking December of 1999 to March of 2020, you're going 4 months later, these two companies merged together. And the new company is called X.com. And so Bill Harris did all the work to merge the two companies together. And then Musk, who handpicked Bill Harris to come to X.com, ousted him and takes over the CEO role himself because he's now the biggest shareholder. Well, but then here's the great part. In typical Elon Musk drama, right? In September of 2000, Elon Musk goes to Australia for his honeymoon. The X.com board voted to change the CEO from Elon Musk to Peter Thiel, which everybody knows who Peter Thiel is, part of that, very politically motivated these days. He's the co-founder of Confinity. So in June 2001, X.com was officially renamed to PayPal. And
Wow.
so deep relationships with these two companies. And I always thought, like, some part of me thought Intuit could have gobbled up PayPal at one time.
Yeah.
So Scott Cook, the founder of Intuit, was on the board of PayPal, eBay PayPal from 1998 to 2015. And then when those two companies split. So when they split, so this goes back to Bill Campbell. Bill Campbell, who was the two-time CEO of Intuit, he mentored Steve Jobs. He mentored all the Google guys. Like, he just was really involved in Silicon Valley. He was mentoring the former CEO of eBay, who named PayPal's current CEO. And so John Donahue, who was mentored by Bill Campbell, had a say in naming Schulman's replacement this week. So it's like full circle. This whole Intuit train from this headline leads us to Alex Chris being named the VP now. It's all connected. It's all tied.
Wow.
So that's all the history.
Thank you for that history lesson, David. That's fantastic.
So I don't know if people know about Alex Chris. So I think we talked about it before. He did all the QuickBooks business side of the business. It looks like they talked to 20 investors, searched for a bunch of different people, and he was the finalist from a pool of 9 candidates. And that's it. And now Mariana Tessel is going to take over the small business self-employed group at Intuit. I think my only 2 cents on this is it makes you wonder what he's going to do there. And my gut is, just like other companies that had Intuit executives go to them, e.g. LegalZoom, what did they do? They rolled out accounting and bookkeeping services.
Yeah, you think that's what PayPal might do?
I don't know.
Who's using? I know PayPal's enormous, and they've got Venmo, but like, when was the last time you used PayPal, David?
I use it anytime I'm on a site that I know I'm never going to do business with again. And it's not that they're sketchy, but like, I don't know. So if they have a PayPal button, I'll pay with PayPal to put that level of separation of my credit card and my identity. But that's usually when I use PayPal for situations like this. But mostly it's Venmo these days.
Yeah, I feel like that's the big area of growth for them. I mean, I never see anyone using PayPal dongles, or PayPal. They've got like a PayPal point of sale. I've never seen that in the wild ever.
And it could be because, like, I know Alex Chris, he was very big on self-employed, maybe overly zealous about it, possibly at Intuit, the QuickBooks Self-Employed. But in the last 2 years, the QuickBooks Group launched their own Venmo, PayPal, small businessy thing, kind of in a way like reminds you of the new Expensify, this kind of super app chat, send money type thing, right? I think it might actually just be called QuickBooks Money. It might be, which is crazy because I think the bank account's called QuickBooks. I don't know, but it might be called QuickBooks Money. So I think, he's been keen to this idea of payments in an app or something. And what also tells me, I always thought he'd be in line for CEO of Intuit, which tells me maybe investors in the board are super happy with Sasan, and Sasan must not have any future plans to go anywhere anytime soon with Intuit. But it'll be a ride, and it'll be interesting to see, what somebody with a QuickBooks small business background and accounting background does with PayPal. It could make PayPal better for all the accountants and bookkeepers and their clients, right?